بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his ni'am, for his favors upon us, and of course the ni'matul Islam. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he guided us to this ni'mah. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from those who are the right sect, the group which the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam specified as Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, those who strictly follow the Quran and the Hadith and the path of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions, and those who followed them bi ihsan until the day of judgment. We have a few groups which fall under the Isma'ili, which is again is a part of the Shi'ah. These groups are quite similar, and they have small differences, and they all are, like we said, under the Ismaili main group, if you want to call it. And those are the Bohras and the Agha Khanis and the Makarima. Those three normally can be categorized as one group with some differences. First, in terms of the Bohras, they are mainly in India. That's where they are mainly, and they believe in one imam. I forgot his name, which changes of course every now and then, and they believe that this imam is the representation of God on earth. So they got that from the Christians, and they have some even Hindus traditions in their belief. Those people believe that their imam knows the ghaib, knows the future, and he can bless you if you go and touch him. And that's why you notice if you see their imam, he's always wearing gloves or something, because they're not supposed to touch him directly. It's like, something, I don't know, electric shock or something will happen. So those are the Bohras, and this imam sanctification, the giving the imam that rank above a human being, this is their main issue. Of course, this is shirk for sure, 100%, and if you please him, basically he will give you Jannah, something like that. And they believe in something called the mastermind. Basically they believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and astaghfirullah, I'm just telling you what they believe, he created something called the mastermind, and that mastermind is what created the universe. So those people believe that this mastermind is the one in control, which he created their imam, and the imam is the will of the mastermind on the earth. It's quite complicated, but of course, just saying, I think this is enough to tell that they are completely out of Islam with that kind of belief. The Agha Khanis are the same in terms of believing in the mastermind, in terms of believing of their imam, the Agha Khan Ghulam Ahmad, I forgot his name, and they normally have a big picture normally in their prayer room, and they pray to it. So this again giving this level of holiness, of making this person sacred, is the same, just like the Bohras. And the thing is, they give their imam 20% of their income, the fifth. That sounds like a nice idea, I might be able to get my Lamborghini. Imagine, there are so many of them, those Agha Khanis, and they have a masjid, if I'm not mistaken, close to that Masjid al-Mustafa. I used to pass by it. So they imagine every person of them, everyone sends 20% of every month, 20% of their income, and that's why those people don't do zakat. I mean, obviously 20% and then zakah on top of that and sadaqah, that 20% is enough. And the money go all to the imam. So that's why their imam is multi-millionaire. And the rest is the same, like the Bohras. They don't believe in the day of judgment, most of them. They believe again in the reincarnation of souls. In terms of the Makarima, they are the same, just like before, the other two, except that they believe in the stars a lot, astronomy, and they believe that the planets are the ones that control this world. And like Venus does something, and Mars does something else, and Jupiter does something. Each one is specialized in one of those, and they worship these stars and these planets. So that is, in short, the Ismailis. And we can see that, what does Islam have to do with any of this? Even if they call themselves Muslims, by the way. But and those again all are subgroup from the Isma'ili, which is a subgroup of the Shi'ah. And that completes our talk about Shi'ah. Inshallah, next time we'll be talking about a different sect. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.